We are going to try this again, people. Oh, such groovy music, dude.
I like it.
It you know what I mean? It's like I like that type of groovy music. It makes it seem so professional. You know, they come back from commercial like, whatever. But
yeah.
But let's cut this thing off. Hopefully my microphone is working better. People in the chat, let me know. We're gonna get through this thing. But you know, it is. Oh yeah, hang on. I made a overlay just for this occasion. Oh no, that's not the right one. Here we go. There we go. Packers pregame show. The Green Bay Packers take on the Lions. We're watching the Seahawks game right now because if the Seahawks win, the Lions are eliminated. And it looks like I think the Lions just scored,
They're
bro.
tied.
Well, I think that something just happened.
So Seahawks and Rams, it's 16 apiece, and we got 2:19 to go. 2:19 to go in the game. It's 16-16 right now.
There we go. Because, yeah, I'm watching Red Zone, and they're on a different game. They're on the Cowboys game. Cowboys are getting just absolutely annihilated. I won't say annihilated, but 23-6. Yeah. They're getting taken to the shed a little bit, as people say. But, yeah, so I sound good now. All right, so I fixed the thing. So what happened was I lost power earlier, and I had to reset, and I have a mixer here that I don't know how to use very good. I set it up once, and hopefully it doesn't get screwed up, you know? And then when the power went out, it reset everything. I had to do a thing. But anyways, I want to get into this thing, all right? That's what we're here to do. Talk about this Packers-Lions game. And I hope that the Lions have a chance for the playoffs. I really do. I hope this is whoever wins, they get into the playoffs. I think that'd be great. I really don't care about the Seahawks, whatever. I don't have no hate for them anymore like I did for a lot of years. But now they're just whatever. There's another team that's whatever. They're kind of trash. But I think it'd be great for the Packers Lions to just be like winner gets in. Both of them, dude, because that Lions team, like we were talking about earlier, but we can say it all over again because I don't think anyone heard anything I was saying. But this Lions team is good. Like I think the Packers Lions, they're very similar. I'm not talking about like players and what their strengths and weaknesses are, but they're both got shut down early. Everyone's like, oh, it's over. You know that these teams are done, and they both had to battle back, and now they're both in position. Last game of the season, possibly winner gets in. Depends on the Seahawks for the Lions, obviously, but like I think both these teams are gonna be fired up. Both these teams are going to be like just backs against the wall. And even if the Lions are out of the playoffs, I feel like they're still going to fight because that they just for respect. Like you saw the Texans today, they gave up the first round pick to win a game. Like they were battling. I think that says a lot about Lovie Smith because, I know he's on on a hot seat and they don't know if he's coming back. But like that team still battled. Anyways, I don't care about the Texans. But so what do you think going into this game? I mean, you kind of just said it, but I don't know, these might be different people watching. So just say what you think, and it'll be a good time. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. I think Dan Campbell's gonna get that team ready to go. Right. Like Green Bay is, they are way past the point. 5 or 6 weeks ago where they could just overlook people. You can't. Every week you just got to go and grind. And I think Rodgers said this a few times, where he said, we're just going to take it week by week. We're going to try to do what we can do. We're going to win what we can win, and we're going to come out hard and play, right? And again, regardless of if the Lions are in this thing or not, I think Dan Campbell is going to get them into the spot to be able to play, right? Like he didn't go over there the whole week. Oh, hey, if the Seahawks win, on Thursday, we're just going to take a dive. Like that's not how they operate, right? I really actually like him as a coach. I mean, he's the total football bro, right? Like that's his whole persona. And I like the way he's playing over there. And guess what? Like guys that used to be here, like Jamal Williams, love playing for the guy, right? Like Jamal Williams had 15 touchdowns this year. He, like again, I love Jamal Williams, man. I'm sorry. That guy was freaking awesome when he played for us.
He has a chance. I didn't mean to cut you off, but he has a chance to beat Barry Sanders' record for single touchdowns in a season, and that like blew my mind because Barry Sanders was ridiculous. Yeah, he has. That might not be the exact stat because you sound shocked too, but I think they said that he could break the record for single touchdowns in a season, and it doesn't make sense because Barry Sanders was so good, but maybe he just didn't score all the. I mean, not that it's not a lot of touchdowns, but it's just a wild stat.
And Barry Sanders was a yardage guy, right? Like he that's why he was up there so high. And even their offenses too, like they had back, we're gonna go way back to like the 90s, but they had like the Herman Moores and the Rodney Peets and the like those guys, the Corey Schlesinger with blocking for him, like those guys were tough teams, and that was when I was real young and I was watching those guys grow up, and I'm watching people get blown up, and I'm like, these boys came to play,
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter how bad the Lions were when Barry Sanders was there. Like, dude, it was something. Like the Barry Sanders. I've always said Barry Sanders to me is the best running back of all time. I don't think that he can be top. And
it's tough. Like I always thought Emmitt Smith and him were kind of hand in hand. And the thing that I wish I would have been able to see, and I think a lot of people agree, was like how good would Bo Jackson have been if he didn't get hurt?
Yeah,
he was in that same kind of era, right?
Yeah. He was a little earlier than early on, but I remember when I was a kid, Bo Jackson was Michael Jordan. All right, so let's get back to this game. What do you think? Defensively, I'm looking for Preston Smith, and I believe that the Lions have a good offensive line. I don't know a ton about the Lions. I don't. Yeah, so they have a good offensive line. So Preston Smith needs a sack and a half to get $1 million incentive bonus. I'll be rooting for that tonight, and not just because I obviously good to get your money. I want everyone to get their money. But also, if Preston Smith's getting sacked, everyone's getting sacked, getting after Goff. I think that the secondary is going to get some turnovers. Hopefully, we get a kick return for a touchdown again. That's always nice, nice little bonus. But what do you think the Packers need to do to secure this dub tonight?
So I found this out when I was driving to my kids' hockey thing at practice today at 7 a.m. that the Lions have the second-ranked offensive line in the league as far as sacks allowed. So they have been very good at protecting Goff this year. And we're going to need to get pressure from Preston. We're going to need to get pressure on the edges. We're going to need Quay Walker to keep doing what he's doing on the defensive side. And again, our secondary has been underrated all year. Now they're starting to ball. I don't know what happened with Joe Barry, but now he's starting to figure out hey, I got some ballers on that back end. Let those guys go out and play, man. Let those guys go out and play.
Oh, no, I absolutely agree with that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was saying, I think that on the defensive side, the way we've been playing the last 4 weeks, if we play just like we've been playing, I think we're good. We were playing fast. Last week was one of those things, the first time I've seen it in a while, where I'm like, yeah, I know what you're going to do. You know what I'm going to do. We know where you're going with the ball, and we're going to stop you. And they did. The Packers did last week. Jair Alexander shut Jefferson all the way down to the point to where he caught one pass for 15 yards. He put the ball up like he had just scored a touchdown and dropped it, and they kicked a field goal. He didn't do anything. And again, he's the top 3 wide receiver in the league. So if the defense plays like that again, I think we're in great shape. The offense last week had some good opportunities. They were put in some good spots. They did what they had to do. They didn't do what we have come to be expected as Packer fans, right? Usually we're hey, the offense is going to get 600 yards and Rodgers is going to throw for 5 touchdowns or whatever. We're used to that right now. But I think it was Michael Irvin this morning that said this. He goes, the Packers are dangerous not because their offense is killing everybody. They're dangerous because their defense is playing like we thought they should at the beginning of the year. And if your offense doesn't need to put up 37 points to beat somebody, and your defense is only giving up 15 or 18 or whatever we were doing the last few weeks, that's what makes us dangerous, right? And at the end of the day, as a Packers fan, I don't care if my defense wins me a championship.
Yeah, dude, I don't care.
I'm all over it no matter what.
That's the thing. Last week when the Packers had a punt blocked against them, way back there at the 2-yard line, got recovered. A lot of teams, a lot of games, a lot of times this year, that's a wrap. They're going to go and score a touchdown, easy touchdown. It's going to be, I wouldn't say over, but then they kind of snowball effect could start and bad things start happening. But that didn't happen. That defense locked it down. They didn't get a touchdown. They ended up kicking a field goal. And that's a huge win for the Packers. And that is momentum, because I'm a big momentum guy. I believe momentum wholeheartedly. You can feel it. Even as a fan watching at home, when momentum switches and a couple bad things happen, you have a blocked touchdown. Now, it doesn't work out the next drive. And also you're well, what are we doing? And then that team just kind of starts rolling. But when you have a defense that can shut it down and say, no, we're not losing momentum like this. And they kick a field goal, and then obviously things started happening. Like you say, Jair, I don't care. Everyone says like, "Oh, he had help over the top." I don't care. You have a number one wide receiver, like you say, top 3 in the league, wherever you want to rank him, and he got shut down. I don't care if it was just Jair. I don't care if they had 5 guys on him. Whatever they did, if they had a magician out there, I don't care. Do that. That's the goal for everyone. Even when Devontae, when he was at Green Bay and still with the Raiders, that's every defense's goal. We got to shut this guy down. Like when you have that type of receiver that's got to get shut down, and the fact is, the Packers did it. They shut his ass down. Like he was done. He was like he wasn't even there. Like he had 1 catch, 15 yards.
And he's bragging about it. That was the part that got me. He was like taunting the Packers. He dropped the ball because he caught a first down. I'm like, way to go. You guys still only got a field goal. Like he's frustrating. And again, like I've never met him. Like I know a few Viking players. So I live over in Minnesota, and I know a few people that actually work for that organization and stuff. And some of the guys are actually pretty cool. They've done a lot of stuff with the fire departments and stuff, doing Operation Warm for Coats for Kids. They've done Feed My Starving Children. They do some of the stuff around here, and it's you know they're charitable, right? Like you meet them, you're like, oh, okay, you're a nice guy, but I just hope you lose on Sunday, right? Like, you know, like personally, I don't hate them. I just like, hey, I just hope you miss a tackle and get ran over.
I don't hate players for other teams. Like I don't want them to be successful when they're playing my team. But like, all the players like for the Packers that I've met have all been like super cool and like just regular people that just have a cool job. And I expect that most players like that. I'm sure there's some whatever out there, but like I think most guys on all teams are just, they're just going to work, whatever. But we're still going to talk trash about a little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh no. we're not laying up on them. But again, like I think the whole Jefferson thing and the guy over top and stuff, like, again, like if you think that Minnesota's got 10,000 lakes, but really it's got 10,000 excuses, right? Like they were coming out of the woodwork this whole entire week about, oh, well, what about this and what about that? And it's like, guys, I mean, they had a negative 19-point differential until today. They had 13 wins. Now they got, like you look at what their schedule was this year. You look at who almost beat them all those other times, and you say, okay, well, there's 9 games, 10 games that you could have easily lost, and the other 4 you got blown out. So, I'm looking at this and I go, okay, you won a couple games by 3, 4 or 5 games by 6, and 2 by 7. I'm looking at that whole situation. And I'm like, if 1 or 2 things happens, you lose those games. And guess what? You got to win those games. So credit, they won the games. But I'm not trying to go in there talking smack about how good I am into the playoffs over here, winning by 3 every week. And
I absolutely agree.
And again, like I think
we're going to overtime over here in the Seattle Rams game. No. We got a field goal attempt. Okay, we got a field goal attempt here.
Seahawks, here it is.
3 career game-winning field goals. This is a 46-yard field goal attempt for the Lions
38.
to possibly be eliminated from the playoffs. Oh, they're going to ice them. 46-yard attempt.
Ice them in Seattle. Here we go. I'm watching it.
We got some stuff going on here today, people.
Drama live on Mad Ramage.
Let me know, everyone. Does he make this kick? This is a high pressure kick.
Oh, this is 46 is not a gimme.
No, it's not a gimme. It's in the range, very doable, but this is a high pressure situation.
All right, here he is at home.
All right, we got some guesses over here, but they might be ahead of me. You know what I mean? We're probably on different.
Let's see. Oh, he hit the post. He hit the field goal post.
Behind you, way behind you.
Field goal post.
What's happening? All right, so we're gonna have overtime. Dude, I'm so far behind. He's just setting up to kick it right now.
Here, I'll be right back. Hold on a second.
All right, the kick is up. Let me see this thing. Oh yeah, it's wide right. Hits the post. Wow. He missed that thing, didn't he? All right, so we're going to have overtime. That is going to add a little bit to like this game. This Packers game obviously depends on who wins. I don't expect the Lions to just lay down, because if they do get knocked out of the playoffs, I still think that they're going to be battling. They're still going to be coming after it. Like we'll see what happens, but I don't think that if the Lions are out of the playoffs, that it's just like okay, now Packers win automatically. Packers are gonna have to battle this game. Packers are gonna have to play good on offense, run with Aaron Jones, like use a run game. Don't need to go Hail Mary all the time. You know what I mean? Use Watson, like especially if he's hot and it's hitting, do that. But
that is
like you know what I mean? They can win this game. Here we go. I just rambled on for a minute as you were gone. But
sorry.
yeah, so we're
gonna go grab something real quick. So we got overtime now in the game that's gonna matter. And I will say this, that considering all the stuff that's happened in the NFL this year, they figured out how to manufacture some drama into these games, right?
Well, you think about it. This is like the lowest level. If it's the Lions or even this game, like for a playoff spot, and these are teams that, 10 years ago would never even be sniffing the playoffs.
No,
now we got an opportunity, and maybe I don't know. It used to be a time when you had the playoffs and 8 team did it, and like, whoa, what? That's trash. It was like rare, like way back when. It was usually 9-7 was like the worst team they got in the playoffs. Everyone used to always say 10 wins to get in, and now it's not the case. But I don't like get mad about that because like it is what it is. It's still like these games are exciting. Like even if you're not a Packers or a Lions fan, like this game is exciting, especially since half the world that doesn't love the Packers hates the Packers. So like I feel like with the Packers, you either like them or you hate them. Like there's no like gray area. Like I don't know. I think that's kind of how it is. So like even like that's why the Cowboys, like people watch them mostly because they want to watch them lose, and usually that's what happens.
Well, yeah, right. Like even especially right now, they're down by 20. So, I don't know. I've met some people in Minnesota that always say like, oh, like the Vikings are my team, but like I still root for the Packers when they're there just because they're from a smaller town and they can kind of understand a little bit about like what the Packers are really about, right? The Packers are kind of the antithesis of like the big cities, right? That's why Chicago's our biggest rival. The biggest city in the Midwest is Chicago. And the Packers are the complete opposite of Chicago. And then Minneapolis would be the second biggest city in the Midwest. And same thing. So I think some of that comes from like hey, I want to live in a small town and I still want to root for a big team. I still want to feel like, we're relevant and all that kind of stuff. And again, like Milwaukee too, like Milwaukee, Chicago, they're not that far apart. You kind of get that mid-market kind of thing. But again, like I think people respect what the Packers are about. I think we're one of the very small. We're the most successful small market team, I think, in the last 100 years. There's nobody anywhere else.
I think, like for NFL wise, it's just the Packers and the Bills. And the Bills doesn't seem like it because it's New York, but it's like a small area. I guess I'd never been to New York. I have no idea what's going on over there.
We should have went to Buffalo. Like I know I had stuff going on. I know Joe. We talked to Joe about it, and we were going to try to do like a pregame show and stuff and everything there. My favorite Packers game I ever went to was the Bills versus Packers at Lambeau, and it wasn't even close. Like those fans were awesome. I remember that was Josh Allen's. He got brought in like in the first half in Minnesota here, and he beat the crap out of them. Like they blew out Minnesota, which was like. I'm like, hey, perfect. So like those guys were coming in next week, and Minnesota was supposed to challenge for the division, and we were like, hey, high five, you just helped us out, hey, bro, have a good game. And go ahead.
I was gonna say we got Joe chiming in here. I didn't mean to cut you off. Joe actually cut you off, not me.
Oh yeah, way to go, Joe.
He said, when the Packers sneak in, which one of you two is coming on the show Thursday for the playoff fan rant?
Hey, I always defer to you, Mr. Ramage. I went on this show a few times, but if you can't do it, I'll definitely pick up the slack. I've done it a few times, but
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I remember I remember that game because Clinton Dix, who's a big friend of your show, and he's a friend of mine. He ended up running this dude well over. Like, so it was one of those where they're coming across the middle and he's going to go for the ball. And he caught the ball, and it just so happened this poor wide receiver got destroyed while he was catching the ball. So he destroyed this guy, ran him over, caught the ball, and I was like, that might be the most physical interception I've ever seen in my life.
I like that stuff.
It was a good.
He's at Chicago, Sands, and Detroit out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That is funny. That is funny. Like, we'll see what we got. We're in overtime here. We got 9:30 to go. Tied at 16, obviously. We got a third down. Seahawks are on the field.
Yep, they're on their 28, it looks like. They're in 7.
Yeah, you're ahead of me.
Geno Smith is literally running for his life and throws it to no one.
All right, so this is I don't know what's gonna happen. What if they tie?
Yeah.
I don't know the ramifications of a tie, but
well,
here we go. Yeah, this is third down and 7 right now. You're way ahead of me, just over here ruining games. Oh, he's scrambling. Yeah, he throws it to nobody.
Sorry, I'll be quiet on that one. I still got DirecTV. I was talking about that a little earlier because DirecTV loses the contract this year. And I remember the first year I moved to my house out here, my son was born, and I said, hey, I can't go to the bar and watch the Packers anymore because they're only on, about 50% of the time in Minnesota. So I said, we got to get DirecTV so I can watch all the games. So I paid for the package. I did all that stuff. Ended up getting it, and it's like you watch all the games, and it's been awesome. I've had it every year, I think, for the last 10 years now.
I don't, but now they're gonna have it on YouTube. Here we go, the Seahawks punting,
and that'll be cool too. I mean, like, I don't know. I just like DirecTV. I thought they did a pretty good job, but they're not. They're definitely not a sponsor, and I'm probably gonna get rid of them now. But
yeah, they're dead to me because he says tie or Seahawks loss means Packers can tie and get in still. Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I don't expect a tie either way, but yeah, that is interesting. That is interesting, and I believe you, Kelso. Because like sometimes people just say stuff and like I put it on the screen and people tell me later like that wasn't true. Like I didn't analyze it. It's a comment that pops up, but I definitely know that person. They would never lie to me.
I think I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, the Packers have earned their spot to be able to control their destiny, right? Which was unheard of 5 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, there was this and that had to happen. It was like it'd be a miracle.
So I think I mean if they go out there and take care of business today, like I think they will, we earn our right to be in, right? And the Seahawks game and the Lions part, like that, all that other mess that we had and we dealt with doesn't matter, right? If we go out and take care of business, it's just us and we win and that's it.
Yep. Handle that business.
Yeah. I think we will. Last week, I felt like we were going to handle the Vikings just because I knew they were wobbly, and they came out and, like, uppercutted them. Like, they did more than just handle them, right? So I think it'll be a tougher game today because, obviously, the Vikings got manhandled by the Lions, too. Like, the Lions at home, they shut down Dalvin Cook, and they actually handled the Vikings, too. And, again, I think the Vikings have had a soft schedule, and it shows, but desperate teams, I think that this is going to be a great game today because both teams are desperate.
Yeah, and both teams should get the best from the other team. Like the Packers are going to get the best of the Lions, and the Lions are definitely going to get the best of the Packers. I think the Packers, if they play anything like last week,
Matt, look at the Seahawks game real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. All right, so what we got? Is this an interception? We got ourselves an interception. Dude, we got ourselves a ball game here. I think I'm gonna wrap this thing up here in a minute because I want to get something to eat before I start the live game stream. But everyone watching, be sure to tune in during the game. Even if you come checking in and check out, whatever, come say what's up during the game. I will be watching the game with you beautiful people. I'll probably be behind everyone, but you can pause your TV or whatever if you want to keep up. Otherwise, you'll just know what's happened before I do. That's what a lot of people do. Like something big will happen, and then they'll
put it in the comments. They put it in the comments.
I actually noticed like I'll be having a certain amount of people in the stream, and then it'll pop up like 15, 20 sometimes, and then sometimes I know like something's about to happen because people saw it and they're like, oh, I want to see his reaction to that single thing. Yeah, I don't expect every single person to watch me the whole game. Some people do. Some people don't, but check in every now and again. I have fun doing the thing because I feel like I'm watching the football game, watch the Packers with all my homies. You know what I mean?
Well, and there's people out there that don't have access to the Packers, right? That watch you because you
Yeah.
were pretty close to like what's going on, right? Like you give the play by play, and they might be somewhere that has no they can't see
Yeah,
the other
I
way,
think
right?
it's
So you're
funny.
telling them what happened, right?
I feel bad for people that like have to depend on my play-by-play because, like, obviously I'm not a professional. I work at a we almost had an interception here, but I work at a cheese factory. I have no journalism. I have no college, like, you know what I mean. So like I'm just over here just saying what I see. Sometimes I like comes out good. Sometimes not as good. But we have fun. We have fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, look. And I appreciate it, Bruce. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Big shout out to Ron. Be sure to find Ron on Facebook. Ron Talk Sports. He does a great job. You know, his computer crashed today. He'll get a new one probably.
I will definitely get a new one.
That's horrible. We got to do a lot more of these things like during the week and even during the off season. Like we'll do some stuff. I like what you're doing over there. So let's do a little collaboration. You know, like a little podcast love. You know what I mean?
Thanks for having me, Matt. I appreciate it.
Hey, for sure. I'm gonna get this. Matt will drink. I will swim with a hand of cigarettes. And we will have a good time and be merry. All right. I'm definitely gonna drink. You do what you do. And okay, the Seahawks. All right. Okay, hang on a second. Seahawks are just at the 21-yard line.
You want to stay till the end of this game real quick?
Yeah. Let's just see because I'm gonna get something to eat before 7. I got a half hour, but let's check out this right here because they got a drive going.
Seahawks are in range right now. So let's watch for a sec here.
They're in field goal range. Let's see what happens. Let's crack another beer and let's I spilled. I got like a beer castle. I got like a beer castle going over here. You know what I mean? I think I'm running low down here. This cooler down here only holds a 6-pack.
Oh, come on. You gotta get a Yeti sponsorship, get the 24.
My son got it for me for Christmas the year before, not this one. Oh, here we go. We got it. He's throwing that leg around, you know what I mean? He's getting geared up, ready to win this game for him. All right, we got 7 minutes to go in overtime, 2nd down and 8. Look, Geno Smith, 19 of 31, 212 yards, touchdown, 2 picks. That always
instilling a lot of confidence with those numbers.
Like, can he get this last shot? But they're going to run this thing. They run in the rock. All right. Inside the 20, I think that's a 1st down. You know, you're way ahead of me.
I'm being quiet. I'm not going to tell you what happens. You guys all in the chat. You guys watch what happens here. We'll listen to Matt here on this one. I'm not telling you what happens.
They flip to the other game. Who cares about this game? Oh yeah, this is the end of the Denver Oakland or Denver Chargers they got out here.
Oh, gross. All right, so it is. What do they got here?
All right, now we're back. So all right, here we go. They're about where are they at? The 17-yard line.
Yeah,
we're gonna be a run up the middle. Not a lot there. Okay, they're just gonna see what they can get out of this. Not turn the ball over and kick a field goal. All right, we got it, dude.
16-yard line. Yep.
What is this? Matt deems like a killer. I don't know if there's a typo in there. Does I seem like a killer? I'm not. I'm not. I don't even hunt. I will step on an ant from time to time. I don't slow down for squirrels either. But here we go. I don't run over squirrels like crazy. That's a joke. If you ever had one in your house, you think differently about squirrels, I'll tell you that. Here we go. We got a toss over here. Yeah, they're just trying to protect this ball, get what they can, get as close as they can without anything stupid happening.
All right. We'll go with Matt here. He's going to go. He's doing the play-by-play. He's doing the play-by-play.
We got ourselves a field goal attempt here. The Lions' playoff hopes on the line. How long is this thing? What do they say? He's got three career game-winning field goals in 4th quarter overtime. The last one was 2019. Here we go. 32-yard attempt. This is a gimme, right? Is he getting this thing? Oh, they're going to call a timeout. Try to ice him again.
It doesn't really look that cold in Seattle, to be honest with you. I'm looking at what people.
It doesn't look good for the Lions. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, okay.
32-yard attempt. Pete Carroll looking like a douchebag. He's out there.
I love you too, Jonathan. Here we go.
Here it is.
For all the marbles for the Lions' hopes for the playoffs lands on the leg of this guy right here. I don't know his name. 32-yard field goal attempt. All right, we got a lot of people hugging Seahawks fans. A little praying going. That guy's taking a selfie, I think. Here we go. 32-yard attempt. It is up. It is good. Oh, the Detroit Lions playoff hopes dwindle.
They're gone.
And
They're gone.
I'm not really happy about that because I think that'd have been fun to say, winner goes to the playoffs. And plus, I hate the Seahawks. Really, I don't really care about them. But you know what I mean? They're the Seahawks.
They've been a problem for a while, right? And I don't like them. I don't like Pete Carroll.
He's like 127, but he hasn't aged a day since the first time I ever saw him. But
since he took all that money from the USC, he walked right out of there. And
I know, he skip dipped. Like he's shady on that. But so now the Lions, no matter what, can't make the playoffs. Does it take a chip off of them? I don't think so. But I think it might take a little. There might be a player here, a player there that someone gives up on. But I wouldn't expect it. It's not going to change the game.
No, and Matt, you know what? Like we don't want that, right?
No, we don't. I know.
We want to go in there and just beat them up and hey, you know what? Like we deserve to be here. We deserve to be here. We earned our way in, and this team, as young as it is this year, the last 5 weeks earned its way in. They've earned the opportunity tonight, right?
Yep. But I'll say this about the Lions. Like I think the Lions. Because they're saying, they're stamping their flag. That is what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, we're here. This is a new team. This is not they changed the whole culture in that locker room. So even if they don't make the playoffs, all right, but we're going to knock the Packers out. We're going to go out here and punch them in the face. They're 6-1 in the last, whatever.
Yeah.
7 games. I think it's somewhere in there.
You're pretty close right there. I'm pretty sure.
So they want to go off on a winning note. Even if they don't make the playoffs, they want to let everyone know next season we gonna be a problem. And the Packers' job is to punch him in the face and be like, yo, bro, know your role, son.
Not
you
yet.
Know what I mean? Not yet. We ain't done.
But, again, I'll say this to all Lions fans that are out there. Like I said, I like your head coach. I like a lot what you're doing with your team. You all are going to be a problem way before the Bears are a problem.
Yeah.
And I want to see it, and I want to be honest with you. I give you respect for that, right? You guys have made some good picks. You guys have got a lot of talent, and you took some guys like Jamal Williams from us, who is all of a sudden getting 15 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So all I'm gonna say is my opinion is my call for the game today: 31-21 Packers.
There we go. You got 31-21 Packers. All right.
That's what I got.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it. 34-21, somewhere in there, I think. I'll say it. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. I want to try to get something to eat before I do. 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time, so about 25 minutes. I will be live. We will start the watch party. We'll talk a little bit before the game. Maybe I'll be 5 minutes late. Depends if I got to poop or not. I don't know. I kind of feel like some rumbling down there. You know what I mean? But
stuff happens.
You know what I mean? Tummy starts rumbling. I got to go. Anyways, we got this thing. A big shout out to Ron. Ron Talk Sports on Facebook. Search him, find him. And, there we go. Go Pack, go, people. 31-12. Anthony says, hey, save your game prediction. I'm going to need something to talk about for 20 minutes for the pregame. Kind of before the game live. Anyways, here we go. We're at this thing.